Welcome to Metrocasting. I'm Doug Farley. We are at Berwick's Crispin Field, which is now snow-covered, as you can see behind me. But during the playing seasons, it now features one of the premier playing surfaces in our area, as we found out last fall. True local sports fans already know the storied history and stature of the famed Berwick Bulldogs High School football team. For years and years, they've been a force to be reckoned with, and their home turf, Crispin Field in Berwick, is just as storied and legendary as the many teams who have played there over the decades. In fact, some have said Crispin Field is a place where the football gods sleep. But in recent years, the original natural turf at Crispin Field has become increasingly hard to maintain to the performance level expected by players and fans. Therefore, money was found or raised to replace the natural turf at Crispin with the latest and greatest artificial turf available, and as you will see, it is no longer just a football field. Metrocasting cameras were there late last summer at the official unveiling of the new turf, just prior to the first Berwick Bulldog home football game of the 2010 season. A who's who of local officials, all of whom in some way helped to make the new playing surface possible, were recognized prior to the first snap, and we talked with a few of them about the process of making the new Crispin Field possible.
Why was there a need to replace the field?
I think there are a lot of different directions to go with that. First of all, it was just very difficult to maintain. We found that in October, sometimes late September every year, it was really in tough condition just because of the increased usage. So many teams using the same field, and we felt that by doing this, not only we have a nicer facility, but also reduce our maintenance commitment and expenses.
Cost-wise, how much was it?
$715,000.
Right, and that money came from where?
We had a $400,000 grant that Senator John Gordner arranged for us through the state. We have $600,000 that come in from a local community foundation. We also had a donor wall. We have advertising throughout the stadium. We have an agreement with Pepsi. A lot of different places money came from, and that exceeds the $715,000. We're actually hoping to build an all-weather track at some point as well.
Building and Grounds Director James Gefkin says the process of moving from a natural turf to an artificial one wasn't as strenuous as you might think.
It was amazing, really. I mean, the speed that they came in initially for the demo, I got to give a lot of credit to the guys at ELA, the way they set everything up with the design and helped us through the bidding process. The first guys in were Sunny Acre Sports Systems. They came in on contract one. Really just put the blade down on the bulldozer and started taking out all the old turf. That process went really quickly. Then we went to a drainage stage where they put in some pretty impressive drainage structures, cut out some of the existing stuff here, and really started to implement the design process. From there, a lot of gravel. A lot of gravel came in, and then a layer of like a geotextile fabric. From there, they took over the next stage. A local contractor, Donnie Bauer Incorporated, came in. They were awarded the curbing and all the blacktop work that's around here. That was installed, and then the next stage was Land Tech came in to actually do the installation of the surface that you actually see now. That was over another sub-base of stone and drainage. And then really they rolled out the carpet and sewed it together and then came in and filled it all in. You know, so the whole thing was a couple months and constant work every day. And it was kind of neat to just witness all the engineering and the construction as it kind of laid down, you know.
I think one of the things that people find interesting is that this carpet, as they call it, actually had to be sewn together.
Yeah, it's sewn together on the every 5 yards. It actually comes in a five-yard rolls, so 15 feet at a time. The sidelines are actually run along, they're run parallel to the bleachers out until you get to the inner lines of the football field. From the football field in, and then it's rolled perpendicular to the bleachers across into 5-yard sections. So and they're sewn in between. Pretty neat, a big pneumatic kind of sewing machine on wheels that had the carpet flipped upside down, sewed the back together, and then it flipped forward to face the next section. So really, once that base was down and level, the carpet was just sewn and laid level on top of that. Then, of course, the infill comes in after they were satisfied with all the markings and everything was straight and met the laser lines and everything that were set on the grade.
And the markings there, they're permanent?
They're permanent, they're sewn right, and the actual, when you see a yellow line here, that's actually yellow carpet fiber. I mean, the red line is red carpet fiber. There's no paint, no nothing, so it's actually the plastic in the carpet fiber is that color. And so however it's done, extruded and then sewn. But so these are permanent. Yeah, there's no need to repaint, to do anything like that.
The team hired to do the design work was State College-based ELA Sports, which specializes in athletic facility design and consulting.
Yeah, we started with the district about 3 years ago when they just had a concept. We're starting to raise some funds to put a project together. So we came in, helped them establish a program, a budget to give them a facility that would meet their needs. Ultimately worked through the construction drawing phase, got the bids, and then managed the project through construction.
I'd imagine you've done a few of these fields in the past.
Yeah, over 30. We probably did 4 or 5 this year. We've done some work for the Pittsburgh Steelers, mostly high school work that are very popular at the high school level.
So what's the unique feature of this kind of field?
It's really the multi-use functionality of it. You can put as many activities on it as you want. You can play as many games as you want. It can rain 5 inches, and you can be back out here playing in an hour. You can see with all the inlaid lines and things out here on the field, too, that it really gives you a true multifunctional stadium facility.
Talk to me about any unique aspects of this field versus other ones you've done.
Well, on a field like this, if you see all the existing improvements that are around this field, you already got the grandstands, the paved areas, and the walls and things like that. This field did have a pretty severe slope from end to end, which we ended up cleaning up. It still slopes end to end, but only slopes at 0.5% as opposed to 2%. There was also features, environmental quality to get runoff in. There's infiltration trenches the whole way down across this field to address all the stormwater runoff. This is a vertically draining field, meaning the water that hits it goes down into the subgrade as opposed to running off to the sidelines. So it does provide a stormwater benefit as well.
And this kind of a field versus natural turf?
Well, you know, obviously there's nothing like playing sports on natural grass. We're a full proponent of natural grass. However, when you want to play 50 or 100 events on a natural grass field, especially at the high school level, you just can't do it. Here we can guarantee you a good playing surface 24/7, 365 days a year.
All right, so now that you know how they put the new Crispin Field turf together, what does everybody think about it? Jim Doyle and Andy Olickney have been covering the Bulldogs football team on the radio for years, and they say the new turf is amazing.
Oh, I think it's terrific. I think as much as it's a great innovation here on game night, it's even better for practices and other sports as well. I was never a big fan of the artificial turf when it first came out, but this is the latest and greatest, and you walk on it, and I really think it's better than grass. I really do. And it just, in a way, it sounds strange because this place was dedicated in 1929, but the field makes it look like a new stadium this year, so this is exciting.
You know, we always felt that this perch at Crispin Field was the best view in football and in the state and high school. We have great sight lines. The field was always marked. It was well lit. But now with the new turf, we feel the best just got better. Tremendous. Great footing, all weather, marked perfectly. It's just an amazing facility.
Professional-wise, what makes the difference between a field like this and just regular turf?
Well, the traction's always good, no matter whether it gets wet. Sometimes the traction even gets a little bit better. In inclement weather, this is going to hold up very nice. It's going to hold up through the season. You're not going to have that wearing down after junior high games, JV games, varsity games, and all sorts of conditions. You're going to have a well-marked field with green through the middle of the field right through November and the playoffs into December.
Is there a concern about injuries on this field at all?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what the studies show, but I don't think there should be any more concern than grass field, because in grass field you get the the ruts and you get some things that can cause injuries without big hits. So I don't know that studies have shown that this is you're any more prone to injury on this surface than grass.
This is a good turf for the players. It's nice and soft. You're not going to get hurt on it like on some of the older turfs. They don't turn ankles or pop the knees out. This is a nice, safe turf.
Dr. Peter Seidenberg, the Bulldogs team physician, agrees that this type of artificial turf is actually better for players.
Actually, injury-wise on a turf like this, we're actually more protected against injury because you have a more even field surface. You have a well-cushioned field with the rubber pellets. However, those same rubber pellets, you worry about them getting in the eye, and so I have now more stuff to flush out the eyes here on this field However, in general, there's less injuries on a field like this. The one thing in a hot environment you have to worry about is these rubber pellets are actually made from recycled tire. They're black, and so they absorb the heat, and they reflect it back up at the end of the day. And so the field is hotter than the ambient temperature. Other than that, no real issues on this field.
Any because of synthetic brush burns, anything like that?
Really don't see as much as far as brush burns on this kind of field like the old kind of AstroTurf. And so the brush burns are much less actually on this than even on a regular turf field in the hard ground of the winter. So all in all, we should see less skin issues on this kind of field.
Officials told us the more the field is used over the first few years, the better for the turf, in that more use helps all that sand and recycled rubber settle into place, which will make for an even better playing surface than is there now. That is one of many reasons as to why more than just the football team is getting to use the field these days. During the fall, we found the high school boys soccer team using the field. They're using the yellow lines to mark their boundaries on the field, by the way, as well as the high school girls field hockey team. They were dressed in pink that night to support breast cancer awareness, and by the way, they used the red lines to mark their boundaries. Even local midget football and other teams and the marching band are getting to use the field now, thanks to its durability. And that durability is just one reason why a local philanthropic organization became one of the project's bigger benefactors. Eric DeWald is the CEO of the Berwick Health and Wellness Fund of the Central Susquehanna Community Foundation.
Oh, I think it turned out great. I think the school board and the staff and administration at the Berwick Area School District did a great job with the field. I think they ended up getting the best prices that they could for this amazing project for the Berwick area. And we were a really proud supporter of this project because not only is it a new surface for the football field that'll help with safety for the players and a more enjoyable surface to play on, but it allows lots of other kids to participate on this field and in this facility with other sports like soccer and field hockey.
Are you happy with the finished product?
Doesn't it show? Yeah, I'm ecstatic. I couldn't be happier. It was just a great project. The whole project was great and really rewarding to be part of. I think it's just going to, it's already, it's paying dividends. I mean, just to see the kids using it. We weren't even done and they were out here. And now we have field hockey, soccer, football. It's just a constant use facility. It gets all the kids out here. They all get to enjoy. You know, this was always kind of historic Crispin Field, and it's been hallowed ground, and now we get more kids to enjoy it. And hopefully it's that much value added for the school district.
It's a nice field. It's really, I like the way the kids can get out there and rip around on it. And it seems to be right now, it's pretty spongy. Like they're not going to really hit a hard packed ground like they usually do.
It's worked out great. You know, there's a lot more to it than people understand when you actually go on into a project like that. But we've had some great people involved. ELA, our architect, was very good, saw us through the process. Our athletic director, Tim Honeywell, James Gefkin, our buildings and grounds guy, they made this a good project. You can take any project and make it work well or not make it work well. The people that were involved made it work out very well.
It really is a beautiful field, and we cannot wait until the spring thaw to be able to use it once again.